as a Canuck fan, one guy I get asked about a lot is Alex Burrows. The guy who now wears this jersey and probably would wear this hat after the game. Anyways, tonight, Taylor Hall, I guess, hit him, and it was a clean hit, and Burrows didn't like it. After the whistle, you see Burrows say, "Are you kidding me?" And he completely lost his brain. I'm going to link to what happened in the description of this video, the TSN article on it, and it has the video in it. Burrows has already been offered an in-person hearing, which means it can be 6 or more games. And this should be 6 or more games. Here's what I don't understand. Burrows was given roughing and cross-checking on the play? Why wasn't he thrown out of the game? Unless I'm missing a 10-minute misconduct, which I saw him in the penalty box in the highlights, so I assume he played in the rest of the game. This, again, is the NHL not making any sense to me. Where a guy can get a 2-minute minor, and stay in the game, and yet he might get suspended 6 games for what he did in that game. Ottawa wins that game. Take Burrows out of that lineup. I can't defend Alex Burrows when this kind of stuff happens. Burrows is a man of great passion. And with that great passion, he's got also a very large mouth that gets himself into trouble. And that usually was the way it would work in Vancouver, was that for all of the incidents you guys have seen and the finger biting and all that crap, really with Burrows, it was usually his mouth. He'd usually be beaking off at the other team, and either he'd beak off, and that team would kind of get pissed about it, and they'd start playing better, which is usually what happens. If you're on a bench, and you got some jerk on the other team just beaking off at you, yeah, you want to drive him into the boards really hard every chance you get, and it fires your team up. Like, look at this bunch of clowns over here. And I used to see that with the Canucks a lot. And Burrows and Kessler were the two biggest instigators of that. Like, people bring up Bieksa, but Bieksa's a fun guy. And Bieksa's got a good sense of humor, and Bieksa's relatively popular with teammates, and I think with opposition as well. Not necessarily on the ice, but he's a nice guy. And you can believe that he's a decent guy, and he's a good team guy. And of course, famously, he said shots when they asked him about why the Canucks were losing, and he said we need to get shots, and he quoted that song. And I'm trying to think of the name of the interviewer, and it escapes me, but the interviewer didn't realize that it was a joke and a reference to a song, and just, yep, Bieksa says they need more shots. It was just great. Burrows doesn't really have that. And I know Burrows was popular with teammates while he was here, but man, there were so many times I'd be watching Canucks games, seeing him do something stupid, or talking, and I'd be like, wait, why are you talking to the Flames bench? Shut up. They're losing. Just shut it till the end of the game. Just zip your lip and shut it. You don't want to make the other team angry. And then sure enough, Jerome McGinley would go out there the next shift, really angry, and all punchy, and sometimes BX would take him up on it, and you'd see a nice fight between the two, or Kessler, whatever. But when Iginla's fired up like that, really he starts scoring goals and he gets points. And it's a player like Burrows that would fire him up. Apparently Burrows hasn't had enough of that, and now he's going to get a nice long suspension. He's a repeat offender. He's done this crap before. He clearly knees him in the head a couple of times, and I don't know if he watched some MMA tonight and got all Ken Shamrocked up or what he did, but it's just insane to me. Absolutely insane. I can understand being frustrated by a hit you think was maybe across the line, and skating up to a guy and saying, hey, you know, that kind of crap, next time I'm knocking your block off. Or even, you know, just take a shot at him. Just two-hand him with your stick a little bit. Just let him know, hey, next time I'm not taking that. But Burrows just lost it. And Taylor Hall said that. Says he lost his mind. And that makes Burrows a liability. And if you're Ottawa and you're watching this, and you know you've got these young kids coming up, is Alex Burrows a guy that you're looking at and saying, we know we signed you for 2 years and we promised that you'd stay here for 2 years, but maybe it's time to let you go? Do the Ottawa Senators approach him after something like this and say, you know what, we're thinking about moving you to Anaheim, where everybody seems to go that was hated by Vancouver? whether it's BX or Kessler, and then it would be Burrows too, right? Anaheim would seem like the natural landing place for him. I don't know. The NHL needs to come down hard on this. And again, this is a guy who plays for a team that is one of my four teams. The Senators are always my fourth favorite, more because there isn't anybody else I cheer for against them. And, I have my top three, and some people may not know that when I rate my 31 teams, they're number four. But Burrows doesn't help. Burrows didn't help in Vancouver either. And it's a weird thing, and I'll bring this up too, that being a fan of a team doesn't mean you're a fan of every player on the team. And I'm not a fan of every player on any team that I cheer for. But, in this case, I just... they have to throw the book at him. George Peros needs to throw the book at him. So the fact they offered him an in-person hearing, he can waive that, but because it's an in-person hearing they've offered him, it can be 6 games or longer. So if it's 6 games or longer, can we have a discussion with the referee about why the referee didn't throw him out of the game? And if people are going to say, well, it was cross-checking and roughing, you can't throw him out for that. No, but you can do a 10-minute misconduct, 10-minute game misconduct, and his ass is out of the game. You can do that. Referee has it at his discretion at any time to say, this guy's got to go, you're out of the game, 10-minute game misconduct, see you later. Hit the showers. And that's what should have happened in this case, and I'm baffled as to why it didn't. It's not like all eyes weren't on the scrum that was ensuing. So, where was the call on that? Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. And hey, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.